Mixing business and charity seems like all the rage. Done well, it can be an effective way to both further your mission and raise financial support. Done poorly, well, it can really mess you up. In today's video, we're going to explore how to do it right. I'm Greg McRae, founder and CEO of Foundation Group, and welcome to our 501c3 University channel. Out of the gate, I want to say that this video is not about nonprofits which have a wholly owned for-profit subsidiary, nor am I going to discuss having a legal ownership stake in another company. We're going to keep this conversation right now focused on partnering with existing businesses, of which the nonprofit doesn't have any direct ownership stake or control. Now, we'll look into charities owning for-profit businesses in another video. Today, we want to look at two specific areas of focus: money and mission. So here we go. Let's start with the one most people think of first anyway, which is partnering for money. Now, there are a number of ways that a charity can connect with businesses in order to scale up its fundraising. Now, the first monetary possibility for partnering with business involves donations and sponsorships. Now, most nonprofits ask people for money, but not that many think to ask businesses, which that can be a rich vein of support to mine. Now, asking businesses in your community to donate, well, is certainly one way to do it, but it's not always the best way. Businesses they're not people, and usually there are multiple personalities involved in the decision-making process about giving you money. So those persons may or may not care about the same causes. Also, businesses are busy trying to sell their goods and services, so it's doubtful your organization is going to be a priority for them. So, if all you're proposing is that they give your nonprofit some money, well, maybe that's not the best way. A better way is sponsorships. Sponsorships can provide the necessary incentive to get businesses to donate to your organization. Businesses need exposure, and the exposure that comes from sponsorships can result in significant community goodwill for that company. Now, sponsorships can take various forms, including temporary sponsorships and maybe even semi-permanent ones. For some organizations, it could be visibility for sponsoring a fundraising event. If you've got a private school, it could be naming rights for a period of time for the football field or scoreboard. We've all seen these examples in real life, but often people don't really stop to consider trying it themselves. There are endless ways to encourage creativity with businesses to sponsor your organization in exchange for public acknowledgement. The question is often asked, how is this any different from advertising? And that's a fair question. Done improperly, it might be the selling of advertising, which really that's something you don't want to do. Ad sales potentially create taxable, unrelated business income. It's another topic entirely, and that complicates matters unnecessarily. Now, there's several keys to this. One, don't call it advertising. Just strike that language from your vocabulary. Two, acknowledge the support, but keep calls to action and superlatives to a minimum. Things like buy now and he's the best dentist in town, don't do that. Three, don't use a sponsor's typical ad copy, maybe beyond their slogan or tagline. It's better to simply acknowledge their generous support and recommend that your constituents patronize their businesses. Now, revenue sharing is another creative way for nonprofits to partner with business. You'll occasionally see a local restaurant agree to partner with a charity for a percentage of sales event. For example, a local pizzeria will donate 10% of proceeds to a charity for everyone that comes in on a particular night. Some retailers, like grocery store chains and others, they've got charity share programs as permanent fixtures of their service. Think about Amazon Smiles as a perfect example of this. The point is, the opportunities are there, but you're going to have to make them happen. Shifting gears a bit, let's take a look at partnering with business for missional reasons, not for fundraising. Now, what I mean here is a business that actually helps a charity accomplish its mission by action, not just cash. Now, this is a bit more unusual, but it does happen. Obviously, this is going to involve the more charity-minded business owners out there. An example of this might be a group of company employees who volunteer their time to serve food for participants of a homeless shelter. Or maybe it's a local CPA firm whose staff goes into a school and helps kids learn personal finance. The possibilities here are as numerous as your imagination. The key to making it a possibility is just getting creative. It may be that your nonprofit's purpose, maybe it's not well suited to outside involvement. and that's fine. But I think way too many organizations never consider opportunities like this that are right under their noses. Plus, getting other entities involved in your activities, that just creates a whole new group of brand ambassadors sharing the good news of what your nonprofit is up to. I got to talk about the problem of conflict of interest. Whether a company is getting paid for a product or service provided to your nonprofit, or it's simply receiving public accolade for donating money, it's getting a benefit. Now, those type of examples are perfectly fine, but watch out for conflict of interest and unfair private benefit. Conflict of interest can occur when the business being promoted belongs to an insider of the nonprofit. Now, there's no blanket prohibition on doing that. Just make sure decisions are fairly made and make sense for the charity. Private benefit can occur when such arrangements are made primarily for the benefit of the insider at the expense of the nonprofit. In other words, Jason, the insider, is manipulating influence for the purpose of benefiting himself to the detriment and harm of the nonprofit. That's not okay and can result in penalties from the IRS called intermediate sanctions. You don't want any part of that. Mixing business and charity can really work to the benefit of your nonprofit. Understanding what's possible and how to avoid problems makes it something worth pursuing. What it ultimately looks like for your organization may be quite unique, but by thinking creatively and maximizing the value of working together, businesses and charities can accomplish much. Well, that's it for this discussion. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. We're so appreciative of you for doing that. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the little bell icon to be notified of new content when we post it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.